Okay guys, I probably look really crazy right now, but obviously I already did one eye. Now I'm going to do the other in depth for you guys right now. Okay, so what the hell? No. So for today's look, I'm going to be mostly featuring the Modern Renaissance palette. I know there's like a crap ton of tutorials using this palette already on YouTube, but dude, it's close, stop. But I want to feature it on my channel because I honestly don't use it that much, and it's amazing, and I know I should use it way more. But when I first got it, it was like literally I bought it the day it was released, and then I lost it 3 weeks after I got it. And then I just got so used to not having it that I just don't reach for it now that I have it again. So I'm going to try to incorporate this a lot more because I feel like this is the palette that everyone has, and it's probably like the most requested palette that I use here for my tutorials. If you guys have any other suggestions, because I need to get up on my palette game. I'm more of like a single eyeshadow person. I feel like I just like looking at my pretty self-made palettes. But if you guys want to see a specific tutorial using a specific palette, then please be my guest and let me know. Alright, so let's get on with this tutorial. Okay, so I'm going to start off by taking Burnt Orange, and then I'm going to go into Raw Sienna, and then I'm going to be using a Morphe M441. So this has become my favorite Morphe brush, and pretty much my favorite blending brush of the moment. So like I said, I'm going to start out with Burnt Orange, and I'm literally just going to go in the crease with this. Okay, so a lot of people have been asking me, like, how do you know, like, when to stop blending, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so when you pick up the color, you're obviously going to want to tap off the excess so you don't go in with a crap ton of product, because once you do that, it's really hard to blend it out. So you're wanting to focus most of the color, like, in the deepest part of your crease, and then slowly fade it up. So when you look up and your eye is open, you see this haze that, like, everyone wants because it just looks so blended. So that's what you're just aiming to do. So I'm just using the tip of my brush and like almost more like a rough blend to fade it out up into the brow. And then I'm focusing most of the color, and I'm starting right in the deepest part of my crease. And I like to do windshield wiper motions like this. I like to do circular motions, anything that kind of just blends it out as fast as possible. Then I'm going to go into Raw Sienna, and I'm just going to put this a little bit lower than where we put Burnt Orange. I'm only doing this to give it more depth and dimension, because it always looks pretty when the eye look is complete. I know it doesn't look like it's doing much now, but I just like using shades that are in the same tone but just a little bit deeper than the other one. Okay, so since we're going to be doing a half cut crease, you're always going to want to take your eyeshadow into this corner right here. I was going to say pocket, but it's not really a pocket, it's a corner. So you're always going to want to take it into this corner right here. The reason why is because no matter what your eye shape is, when you do a cut crease, half cut crease, whatever, you're always going to want to go above your normal crease. So when I open my eye, you can see my normal crease is like right here, but we're going to take the concealer and cut it above. So normally when we don't blend the shadow right here, you can't really see that there was shadow. So when you cut something, you're not really cutting anything because there's no shadow there. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense in my head, but that came out all jumbly. I don't know. And try to match up the same darkness all the way around. Alright, so once you have that, I'm going to take a Morphe M433, and then I'm going to go into Love Letter, which is the pinkest, purpliest shade in the palette. And I'm really going to use and utilize the flat part of this brush, that side, and pick it up with that. And I'm going to actually lay this down flat on my eye and start blending like this. And I'm using like circular motions for this. And I'm starting on the very outer corner, and then I'm taking this right into the deepest part of my crease and fading it onto my lid. Okay, so now you see that the purple and then the browns meet. You're going to want to take the tip of your brush and just lightly feather that. So you're going to want to make the Love Letter shade blend in seamlessly with the other colors. This is going to take a few layers because I want it to be very rich and intense. For this look, we're also doing more of a rounded effect versus like a very cat eye look. So I'm really utilizing my circular motions when I come out here so that way it doesn't go straight out and it kind of curves down. As far as right here, you can take it, whatever's left over on the brush, and kind of just go back and forth right here. Just so that we don't have like that stark stop of purple right there. Alright, so that's kind of where you want to stop. And then I'm going to take a combination of red ochre and cypress umber and then put that in the very outer corner on top of Love Letter. And again, I'm pressing it into my outer corner with the flat side of this brush and using the fluffiness of it to blend everything out. If you feel like you lost a little bit of pigmentation from the Love Letter, just go over it. And I'm mainly just going to go over it more towards the center, so that way that looks more hazy and blended out that way. This is where you're going to want to cut the crease. And I know this part seems very scary, but it's not. You honestly just need to have the right setup. You have to feel comfortable, like when you're doing it. It's really hard if you're going to try it for the first time to just use like a handheld mirror and then do it. For me, I need to stretch my eye out a little bit using my fingers. I don't know how girls can just like do it like that and not stretch their eye out. I think because my eye is very hooded and large, that sounds really weird. It's hard for me to get a precise line because it kind of tugs a little bit. So I like to tug up my eye like that, and then I go in with a brush. Now the brush is totally up to you. I've said this in my other tutorials. I love an angled brush because it just is so simple for me. It lets me get that really crisp line really fast and easy. I know a lot of people like using a synthetic brush. Well, you should always use a synthetic brush for this part because I feel like it works with creams a lot better than natural haired brushes, but a lot of people like using either like the MAC 242 or just something very flat and synthetic. My favorite concealer, I've said this before on my channel, is the LA Girl Pro Conceal because for cutting cut creases, because it's thick but it dries very fast and almost like a thin layer. So it's easy to work with and it's almost like painting something on, but when it dries, it just dries really fast so you don't have time to, you know, mess anything up. I'm just going to take it on the brush like this, and I'm going to really just tap off the sides and mainly focus it on the very center part. Alright, so I'm going to try to do this without tugging out my eyes, but I can't promise you guys anything. Alright, so you always want to try to match up the other eye, which is kind of hard. This is the part I struggle with a lot. So I just look down and see where I started. For this look, because you want that pink to show through, even when your eye is open, you're going to want to start not where your inner corner is, but just a little bit further. Oh wow, I guess I can do it. Okay, so now I'm just taking a little bit more and I'm just going to go up to the edge and kind of just perfect all of the lines. And I'm bringing the concealer down so it fades all of the shadow that was left over on the lid. When you get to this outer corner right here, kind of just bring it and then tap your finger into it, because honestly, with the pink covering it, you're not going to be able to really see. So like I said, just bring the concealer down as far as you possibly can go. Cover it all. It doesn't have to be like super opaque, but just have that concealer there. And then when you get to this part right here, just use your finger, or you can use like a flat brush and kind of just press it in so that way it fades really nicely. Okay, so now that we have our cut crease down, I always like to set mine because I feel like it kind of is almost like a wet base, and so you need to set it again. That's just me. My eyes crease very easily, so if yours don't worry about it, but I just do it just in case. So I'm just taking Tempera from the palette and I'm just setting where my actual crease is so that way nothing balls up right there. For the lid, I'm using this Pigment by the Balm. It is called Work is Overrated. In the pot, it looks like a very nice silverish pink, but on the lid, it goes on very, very silver. So that was a surprise, but I actually like it. So I'm going to take some on a flat synthetic brush. This is the MAC 242. I don't know what I'd do without this brush. Like, I'm still on the hunt for a different one, but for right now, I can't find it. I'm going to use a little bit of Fix Plus to wet my brush. It's the best. I don't know what I would do without Fix Plus either. And now I'm just going to start filling in that area. I'm going to take my 433 again, and then I'm just going to go over where that line is just to blur it out just as much as possible. Okay, and then for the glitter liner, I'm going to be using this NYX Glam Liner Aqua Luxe in the shade Glam Pink. So I think these are really underrated. These are very opaque and very shiny, as you can see on this eye. The only problem with it is when it dries, especially if you have like drier skin, it really bunches up. And that's the only thing that kind of worries me because it might flake off during the day. I've worn it as a regular eyeliner before and it was perfectly fine, but I would be scared to use this for a very long period of time. Or if you're going to be like sweaty and dancing because it might flake off. But for photos, for this tutorial, I'm going to use it. So I'm just going to take the edge and kind of just follow along where that cut crease is. When I come out to the top, I'm not going to round it out. I just kind of lightly swished it out. Hi, babe. You're my video.
What is good?
Okay, so I'm just going to line my lash line with no wing just so that it disguises the big old lashes we have going on. Okay, so off camera, I'm going to apply some mascara and my lashes. The lashes I'm using today are by a new brand called Marvelous Lashes. These are the style Aazlyn. They look like that. These were kindly sent to me. I do have a discount code if you guys are wondering. Okay, so I just wanted to quickly talk about these lashes. This company contacted me well into last year, and they sent me just their first batch of lashes and I fell in love. These are my second favorite pair that they make because they are so dramatic, but the other pair I'm going to talk about in my monthly favorites video that's coming up next. But those are my absolute favorites. I believe my discount code is good for 10 or 15%, no more than that, but they're beautiful. Honestly, I was always really afraid of mink lashes because they are just so thick and hard to work with, but the band on these are just amazing. I stick them on like nothing. Even like a new pair, because that always scares me too, because new pairs are always, they tend to be a lot more stiff, but these are just really easy to work with. They're beautiful on and they are just gorgeous. So I'll leave my discount code. I believe it's like Nikki10 or something. I'll leave it on the screen and in the description box below. But okay, so for concealer, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin. Honestly, guys, this has been one of my favorite concealers lately. It's just, I love the color of it, I think, and then the formula is really nice too, but the color is what I especially love. So I'm just going to go in and apply this like that. Then I'm going to go in with my booby blender and blend it out. Patrick Starr calls it a booty blender. I call it a booby blender. Okay, to set it, the RCMA no color powder. I don't know what else to use other than that. I was like, when I went to New York, I was so worried about taking this through because I carried all my stuff on the plane. So obviously I had my makeup and everything, and I was like, oh my god, are they gonna think I'm like a Coke mule or something? I don't know. I was very concerned, but they literally could care less. So That's in case you guys are worried too. So to finish the under eyes, I'm literally just going to take the exact same colors that we used on the top and put them on the bottom. But I'm mainly going to focus on Cypress Umber and Red Ochre, just because I want it to be a little bit more smoky than the top is. Raw Sienna, and I'm going to put this on the bottom of my lash line. Then I'm going to go into Love Letter, focus this in the center. This morning when I was getting ready for school, I swear to you guys, I legitimately like attacked my eyeball. It would not stop watering for a good 20 minutes and it looked like I had smoked like 10 blunts. It was ridiculously red. And then it went away. Okay, so I'm going to go into Cypress Umber and Red Ochre just on this really flat definer brush, and I'm going to place this very close to my lash line. And when I do this, I don't put the point like right on my skin. I like to hold it at an angle so it kind of like blends it itself and it doesn't look like a straight up line of shadow. I feel like no look is complete when it's very smoky without bottom mascara. Like, at least on me, I don't think it looks good. So for my highlight today, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Glow Kit in Gleam. And I'm going to be using a Morphe fan brush. And I'm going to go into Crushed Pearl and a little bit of Starburst. Yes, come through. To finish off this look, I'm going to be taking the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade London. This has become one of my favorite lip liners ever. All right. These really remind me of the MAC lip pencils. They have the same consistency, so if you guys don't want to spend the money, if you guys only use cruelty-free products, then the NYX Suede lip liners are awesome. For my lipstick, I'm going to be going in with the Stila liquid lipstick in Caramello. This is such a beautiful color. It's like, oh, it's just so cute. What? It's so pretty. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you guys learned something. I really wanted to teach you guys and kind of explain a little bit more because I've been noticing on YouTube like very, you know, known YouTubers and the YouTubers that don't have as many subscribers such as myself, we're not really explaining what to do as how it used to be back in the day when YouTube beauty world started like in 2008. And that's honestly how I learned and how I picked up. So I kind of want to bring that back, use some of that verbiage and everything. So yeah, I hope you guys kind of understood what I was trying to get across to you today. You can totally change the color scheme of this look. I know that Shawnee Grimond, she did something kind of similar to this with a different color scheme and it looks so pretty. So you can play it up and it definitely looks like a different look every single time with a different glitter and a different color scheme. So I want you guys to play and I hope to teach you a lot more here on my channel. If you guys want to follow me on the rest of my social media handles, I will leave all the links down below. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys. Bye.